everybody. Happy day 5 of how to become an absolute horror movie for your non-ideal clients using your messaging. So today what we're gonna do, it's our final day together, is I'm gonna go through all of the things that I talked about in the series. And if you are new and this is the first time you're seeing me live and this is the first time you're seeing this series, you're gonna wanna go to my page and watch the first 4 videos and almost treat it like it's a masterclass. There's tons of things for you to actually do and implement in there. There's examples. We go a lot deeper, but if this is your first time seeing me live for this series, how to become the horror movie for your non-ideal clients, we are just gonna quickly go over what those things are. So step 1 was all about mindset. And I'm not a mindset coach. I don't try and be a mindset coach. I think if you truly have all these limiting beliefs and these issues that you're working through, you should work with someone who does that for real. But the one thing I do that is mindset based is holding a new standard for the women in my membership Unicorn Messaging, where I show them what it's like to be too much. Because so many people are doing the work where they're saying oh, just be too much, be too polarizing, be too bubbly, all these amazing things are gonna happen to you. And I'm the one who's saying, no, actually do all those things. And all these really scary things are gonna happen to you. And then you're gonna have to work through them because people are gonna tell you you're not serious enough. People are gonna tell you you're too weird. People are gonna say, I don't like that opinion, you're a problem. And they're gonna project all of this stuff onto you and you're gonna have to deal with that, because you know that that is a bridge that's going to get you to your ideal clients immediately seeing you and being like, this is my person, close all the other tabs. I'm so certain. Send me the invoice, send me the thing, it's you. And then on day 2, we talked all about a dismantle. So you can't really be a horror movie for your non-ideal clients. You can't really be a horror movie in general if you don't stand for anything. So that's all about the dismantle, is what is it that you're ripping apart with your bare hands? This is where we go into that horror movie imagery of what is that differentiator that for you is so strong that you are like, we are ending this, we are breaking this apart. And then on day 3, what I talked about is taking that and putting it into one sentence, one polarizing sentence of, well, everybody in the industry is doing X, I'm doing Y. And you don't have to keep that format because I know that's very ChatGPT. It's we're not X, we're Y, we're X, we're Y. And you're just okay, chat, please calm down. That's not helpful. So what I would love for you to do is think about it in your own words and just be like, wow, I'm the only person doing this. I'm the only person saying this. I'm the only person with this belief system. That is what you want to put into one concise sentence. Okay, I'm just making sure the video is good. Okay, we're still good. And then on day 4, what I talked about is creating that 3D brand voice. So instead of just saying oh, I'm kind and empathetic, because you've been taught that these are things that your brand voice should be, you actually go into creating a human-like brand voice where you're thinking to yourself, okay, I'm a ride or die. I'm way too real. I'm way too blunt. I am empathetic, but in my own way, I'm hilarious. And you take all of those things and you put it into this cocktail where you actually sound like a person. Instead of sounding like this sappy, curated, oh, we're funny, we're casual, we're transparent, like some corporation. So that was the little spark notes of what we did over the last 4 days. But obviously, go back to those videos if you want to go in depth and you want to actually do this with me. But I created day 5 because it's so easy to watch a training like this and be okay, I need to be the horror movie. I'm really resonating with this concept. But then you go back to your desk and you say, okay, so how do I do this? And so this is the energetic standard that I hold for the women in my membership, Unicorn Messaging, along with giving them the tools for actually creating the copy and honing their messaging skills so that they are able to do this every single day. So if you are interested in Unicorn Messaging, I'm going to take some time now to just go over what that would look like so you can see if it's the right fit for you. Unicorn Messaging is my membership that helps women who feel like they're at a 5 or a 6 or even a 7 with their messaging hit that 8, 9, or 10 mark. And the reason I'm using these numbers is because at a 5 or a 6, you know what you do, you feel pretty clear on how you drive value. You probably have already built that 6 or 7 figure business, or maybe those aren't your numbers, but you're clearly on the way. You're I know how to sell. I'm not in crisis mode, but you look at your messaging and you're just I know I'm playing small. I know there's more in there. I know I could create a category. I know I have some spicy beliefs that if I started showing up with those, people would hire me so much faster. And if you find yourself in that position, that is the woman I'm working with in this membership. And I wanted to clearly give that distinction because I think a lot of memberships, I mean, we could even call it a program. I'm not too beat up about the name. It's like when you hear these things, you often think it's for someone who's a little bit more beginner, who's learning things, who needs like that hand holding, but at a lower price point than like someone who's working one-on-one. And I decided to do the opposite. It's someone who doesn't need me one-on-one because they already have those things dialed in. They're making their own content. They feel pretty good. They're like, I don't really need you one-on-one right now. Maybe they'll hire me for a VIP day later, but they're like, I want you to make these little tiny tweaks that just take me from being a very good business to someone who is owning a category, to someone who's taking up space as the only of something, instead of me trying to constantly compete to be the best. So I wanted to start there because I wanted to just make sure there was that resonance with you really feeling like this is the space for you. And if you're in this spot and you're like, yeah, okay, this is absolutely the space for me. There's two ways I do unicorn messaging. So the first way is kind of the base tier, if you will, where when you enter the space, you meet the community. It's a great group of women. I mean, I always feel like weird being like, it's great people, because it's like you kind of have to go in to like see the great people and then you'll believe me. And what we do is we have 2 calls a month. One is where I do a group roast. So everyone can submit something to roast and I go through and I find the gap and I tell you, this is what, if you change, would propel this. This is the headline that would really make this stand out. Oh, you have this content hook and this is great, but if you could beef up this section of the content, people would start to really see you as the only option. So I do that rapid fire for people in that group roast. And then the second call is a co-creation call where you're coming in and you're coming in with content and messaging and offers that you're working on. And then I'm there to help you if you get stuck, if you have a block, if you're like, I have a question about this. And then through these 2 calls is really where I make those tweaks for you. I help you hone your messaging and we make it that you start to learn what it takes to become the unicorn of your industry. And I also give 2 bite-sized trainings every month. So these are little Loom trainings. They're always under 10 minutes for something very targeted. So I might do one on how to other your program so people see it as nothing like they've ever seen before. I also did one on how to prepare a keynote so that when you leave, people feel that impact in your messaging. I also recently did one on how to write a sales page for a membership, especially if you're targeting a niche that's not niche at all. You're targeting a lot of people. So as you can see, we cover a lot of different topics, and this helps you continue to learn and hone your skills, because these are skills you can learn, especially as someone who's already successful, already smart. I can show you how to tap into this horror movie messaging so that you can truly become that person that becomes synonymous with the thing that you want to be known for. I also recently introduced a VIP tier to unicorn messaging. So that is for the woman who knows that she obviously wants these tweaks. She wants to hone her messaging skills. She wants to become the unicorn, all of the things in that base tier, but she wants to do it a lot faster. And she wants that one-on-one access to me to be like, okay, let's dig in, let's go deep. So it's everything that you're getting in that base membership, but you're also gonna get a weekly private roast from me. So that means you can submit something and I'll give you a longer, more in-depth roast about, hey, let's talk about these 3 pieces of content you have going out this week, or let's talk about this email or this launch or this problem you're facing because you have a new startup and you don't know if you have product market fit, or the sales page that you're writing. Let me go really in depth and tell you all the different things I would change about it. You get one of those every week. And you also get a consulting day with me once a week where you can essentially ask anything you want through a voice note, through a text, and then we go back and forth that day and I help you through that big messaging positioning challenge that you're dealing with. So that is the VIP tier. And that is definitely the place you should be if you're like, I am going to become a global icon this year. I am moving fast in other areas of my business. My messaging is not catching up and I need you. I need you on my side. I need you on my team. I need you as that person who's going to make sure I do not stray and I do not go back to the vanilla zone and I do not create messaging that is for a past version of me. So that is unicorn messaging. And if you're interested in more details, just drop a unicorn on this video and I'll send you a DM and we can chat through it and we can see if the membership is right for you. We can talk about both tiers. If there's a tier you know you want or you're kind of in between the 2, more than happy to guide you based on your stage of business. And I'm just so excited to keep going with you guys even on this page, even in the trainings that I'm going to be putting out, to become the unicorn in your industry through your messaging. Because it's one of those things that, like, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And once you realize that you are the only, you will never go back to wanting to be one of the good ones. So have a great rest of your day, guys. And feel free to drop any questions and I'll chat with you so soon.